He was hit strictly in the eye.
Okay. As you told me a couple of weeks ago, you were a man of letters.
Yeah, but you get excited in these games.
I know.
You want to get the correct tense. That's a replay. But you know what I meant.
I do. And neither one of us is tense, so we're just fine. 7:40 to go, first half. 28-27 Pistons on top after Sally's three-point play. Set the lineups now. This is Isaiah Thomas guarding B.J. Armstrong. Craig Hodges back in the lineup. Jordan will go to small forward. Cartwright. No call. Blocked by Isaiah Thomas. Here's Dumars.
We got hot food, huge food, happy food, and dude food. We got lunch food, munchin' and munch food, not in the greatest mood food. We got the right food, light food, morning food, and night food, make-a-wish food, not this food. All right food, we got food, folks and fun. Get it to go food, folks and fun. Hey, get your own food. You know the one. It's McDonald's for food, folks and fun.
Why should you use Valvoline motor oil? Because Valvoline makes the highest quality motor oil recommended by any automobile manufacturer. And that's not all. Valvoline motor oil is actually recommended by name in the owner's manuals of these world-class cars. And when the members of the Sports Car Club of America were polled, they named Valvoline their #1 motor oil. People who know use Valvoline.
It's easy to see what Ford Aerostar has over Chevy Lumina APV because under Aerostar's exterior is a truly versatile minivan with 23% more cargo room than Lumina. Under here, 20% more horsepower and over 2 times the towing capacity. Under here, rear anti-lock brakes Lumina doesn't even offer. And this Aerostar is priced $952 under Lumina. Ford Aerostar. The facts are overwhelming.
Now get 7.9 financing for up to 48 months or $700 cash bonus on Ford Aerostar.
The battle for the national title. The 44th College World Series Championship. Live next weekend on CBS Sports Saturday.
21,454 paid attendance today. Probably a few more who were able to sneak in. 30-27 Detroit. And Joe Dumars tapped off this fine play with a basket at the other end, Len.
Well, certainly the crowd is getting into this game and raising the emotion and the intensity level. Michael Jordan really didn't have any place to go with it. As he's been surrounded, his teammates are going to have to make themselves more available.
Field goal percentage now as the Pistons have hit 6 of 7 in this quarter to increase their average to 41. Chicago still a rather anemic 32%. That was a big block by Isaiah Thomas, and Joe Dumars got the basket at the other end. Interesting how some speculate that this is becoming more and more a team led by Joe Dumars rather than Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah now 29 years old and in his 9th year. Michael Jordan, no question about who leads that team. That pass almost thrown away, and Mark Aguirre. Whoa, Aguirre did not touch it. O'Donnell and Strum, and the call is overruled by Earl Strum. Seniority has its rights.
And certainly Earl may have been in the better position, but he's not afraid to make his presence known.
Jake O'Donnell had initially said Chicago ball. Strum said no, Aguirre touched it. Earl Strum, who will retire at the conclusion of this season. Under 7 minutes to go, first half. Long shot by Armstrong. Isaiah Thomas. John Sally. Trap on Jordan. Foul on Isaiah Thomas.
Well, certainly this was Phil Jackson's greatest fear, that the crowd would get into the game, that the Pistons would take off on a spurt that would push them away from the Bulls. And it has all the makings of one of those Pistons runs. where they are playing excellent defense, turning the Bulls over, and getting the shots that are going to raise this crowd, the dunks and the high acrobatic types of things.
6.5 to go before halftime. Pippen, Jordan, Hodges, Grant, and Cartwright on the floor now for Chicago. There's the pick from Cartwright, but a good switch by Aguirre. Back it goes to Pippen for 3. No. Well, they hit 7 of 10 the other night. They've got only 1 today from three-point range. At the other end, Isaiah Thomas.
On the Bulls offense, certainly no one on the backboards. The dirty work is not being done.
Cartwright blocked by Sally. A 9-0 run by Detroit. 11. Timeout, Chicago.
Extra, extra, read all about it. We're chilling when the weather gets warm, no doubt about it. To be cool and be somewhat respectable, pick up Pepsi in these hype receptacles. Cool cans are coming, so don't be afraid. And if you get lucky, then you might get paid. So yo, stop kicking, your pace better quicken before they run out or the clock stops ticking. Really, I'm not kidding.
They said this concrete would last for years. Now it has expensive water damage. Why?
Even concrete needs the protection of Thompson's Water Seal. It penetrates to protect wood, brick, and concrete from water damage. Thompson's the first name in lasting protection.
Dave Thomas is always on the lookout for new ideas in food.
Enjoy what?
If you've got a big appetite, try a new Dave's Deluxe with bacon, sauteed onions, the works. Only at Wendy's.
After this, I'm gonna get a big Dave's Deluxe.
The airline that brings you 10 countries across Asia and the Pacific now bridges the Atlantic to Europe with service to Frankfurt and Paris soon to follow. Come fly the airline that spans more than half the world. United. Come fly the friendly skies.
It is a Sunday afternoon in Auburn Hills, but it's anything but quiet as the Pistons lead the Bulls 36-27 after that big run. And hi, everybody, I'm Pat O'Brien. Coming up on the Prudential at the half, we'll bring you up to date as we always try to do on the latest sports news. We'll talk live and in person with the coach waiting for a series to begin, Rick Adelman, the Trailblazers skipper. And when you think about corporations, do you think of IBM, AT&T? Not this time of year. We'll have the story of Jordan Incorporated, Jordan Inc. All that, and as usual, much more at a familiar place, the Prudential at the half. Back to a couple of familiar guys, Vernon Lynn.
All right, Pat, just moments ago before the break, the end of an 11-0 run by the Detroit Pistons, Mark Aguirre. But while that was going on, Joe Dumars has a groin pull, and Mike Abdenauer stretching him out, trying to get him fit to get back in the game, and Dumars is back on the court. That took place during the timeout. Well, these two teams are going in opposite directions in this second quarter. The Pistons 9 of 12 now. Chicago 3 of 11. And the last 11 points have been scored by the defending world champion.
Well, Phil Jackson found it difficult to get anything done with his young people, B.J. Armstrong and Stacey King. He's got his starting lineup back out here to try to develop some team cohesiveness, try to execute a lot better.
Mentioned those Hodges, Jordan, Cartwright, Pippen, and Grant for Chicago. It's Rodman, Thomas, Aguirre, Sally, and Dumars for Detroit. 3 of 12 now. Here's Pippen adjusting his shot and getting it over Sally.
And that was a great offensive rebound and tip by Craig Hodges, who stuck his nose in there to get that shot for Scott Pippen.
Mark Aguirre from Isaiah Thomas. 9 years ago, the number 1 and 2 draft choices in the NBA. Aguirre, of course, taken by Dallas. There's Sally stripped to the ball. It'll be Detroit's ball. Phil Jackson trying to survive the first serious Detroit run of the game, 11-0.
And certainly he has the chance to really orchestrate his defense since it's in front of his bench.
Dumars tipped. Jordan has it. Dumars hurries from behind, and Jordan will slow it down. Isaiah Thomas guarding him now. Aguirre looking around for his man. It's Harris Grant underneath. Here's Pippen. Aguirre comes out. A lot of moves, and then passes it back to Cartwright. Hodges, no. Isaiah Thomas with another rebound. He's got 7. Aguirre.
Pushing it up the floor like that keeps the Bulls retreating, and then patience to wait for the trailers like Mark Aguirre to come down the lane. They can walk to the basket.
Hodges, Chicago ball.
Very quick shot by Craig Hodges that time. I'm sure Phil Jackson would want some more floor balance. He would also want somebody available that gets the ball off the boards on the offensive end if possible. Bill Cartwright stays on the perimeter an awful lot. Ed Neely's more the kind of guy to go inside.
Neely has it blocked by Sally. Blocked again by Sally. This time, count the basket. Well, in their loss here in Game 5, Chicago shot only 33%. They are shooting less than that right now. They are at 30%, 12 of 40. And Jackson said, we must shoot well. Thomas. 2 more.
Pretty close to 3 seconds, but you see where Isaiah Thomas is getting his shot now, where he has his confidence, and that's in the paint.
Isaiah Thomas with 10 points and 7 rebounds. Jordan. Pippen. Bulls are 1 of 6 from 3-point range. 1 of 7. What's leading to this emphasis on perimeter shooting by Chicago?
Well, one of the problems is that Detroit is only giving up 1 shot. They're sagging back and allowing the quick shot to occur because they dare the Bulls to beat them from outside. They're only going to give them 1 shot. And that's what's happening. They get the 1 shot and they're off to the races, so to speak, on the other end in transition. The Bulls continue to back up and back up. And what's happening, the trailers are walking into the basket because there's no one up there to contest them.
Rodman at the free throw line. He has found the answer in this series. I think most of you know that Dennis not acclaimed for his free throw shooting prowess. And Chuck Daly was trying to hurry something in. Now Rodman misses on the second, but he's really been hitting free throws quite well against Chicago. 10-point edge. Pistons on a good run now. 41-31. Hodges for 3. It still won't go. They're 1 of 8. They were 7 of 10 at home on Friday night from 3-point range.
Much better job of the Bulls in getting back in transition.
Aguirre. Loose ball. Aguirre again. Boy, when he gets in a groove, he is something to behold. He's got 10 points now. It is thought by most that Detroit has the stronger bench of the two. That was not the case on Friday night. It certainly is proving to be this afternoon. Bulls can't buy a basket. That includes Michael Jordan.
Well, certainly both coaches told us yesterday that they expect a different character to arise here. Someone who has to step up their game just a bit in order to take their team over the hump, and that person might be Mark Aguirre right now. He is for Detroit.
Aguirre, 5 of 6. Acquired last year from Dallas in the trade for Adrian Dantley, the much discussed trade. And another shot won't go. Aguirre with a rebound.
And you talk about the poor Chicago field goal shooting. Phil Jackson said that his team has poorer selection on the road. But he thought in the 7th game that they'd be over that. Obviously, they're not.
5 of 22 in this quarter. Isaiah Thomas adjusts the shot and draws the foul. Armstrong with his 2nd foul. Well, John Sally's 3-point play early in this quarter gave the Pistons the lead at 28-27. And they're on an 18-4 run right now. Isaiah Thomas with another opportunity.
A lot of that has to do with the Detroit defense in forcing the perimeter shot. The Bulls not able to connect, are still taking the quick shot. And Pistons are coming off with the rebound and taking off, and the Bulls haven't got too many people back to defend.
Lead is 13.
They need some floor balance when they take the shot.
Been a disastrous quarter for the Chicago Bulls. A marvelous 10 minutes thus far for Detroit. Jordan, short. Rodman with the rebound.
And it's everyone on that Bulls team who's taking quick shots and not able to put it down.
Michael Jordan now 4 of 12 from the field. McGuire is 5 of 6. Back to Dumars. That's the third foul on Isaiah Thomas. Benny Johnson is going to give Isaiah Thomas a rest. Thomas, who has not played that well at home, ironically enough, he averaged 31 points in the games in Chicago until the other night, only 8 in the previous 3 games played here. But he's got it together today. Jordan taken away by Rodman, playing the passing lane again. There's another steal. And that's 6 Chicago turnovers.
And certainly not a good pass by Michael Jordan. After going behind his back, he didn't even really look. He tried to look off the defender. But Rodman would not be denied there. He's not going for that kind of fake anymore.
Double team on Aguirre as Grant comes out. Sally with 1 second on the shot clock. Clock at 16. 21,500 on their feet to bring this game to a halftime. Bailey's still coaching, obviously, or talking with Strong. Will Perdue goes to the free throw line. Winner of this game, of course, gets the Portland Trail Blazers, the NBA Finals on CBS. It begins Tuesday night. Portland. And there is Rick Edelman, the 43-year-old head coach of the Trail Blazers, whose team ousted Phoenix 4 games to 2. They were one of the teams that won on the road this year, but not many have. They defeated Phoenix in Phoenix to win that series 4 games to 2. Detroit up now 46-32 with 4.9 seconds to go. This has really been a marvelous effort by Detroit in this second quarter.
Well, certainly it's been an emotionally charged type of effort. They get a few turnovers and convert them. The crowd gets in the game, and it's thwarted any attempts that the Bulls may have tried to make on their offensive end. They've been taking quick shots. They haven't really covered the boards very well, haven't gotten good floor balance to try to offset the Detroit transition game. Now, what's going to happen here is they hope to get these 2 free throws, make the stop with the 4.9 seconds left, go into the locker room and regroup. They have to recognize now that they have to slow the pace down and maybe execute a little bit better offensively.
Will Perdue back at the line, gets the free throw. Now the final 5 seconds. Got it, Rodman. That punctuates a pretty good period. As Detroit outscores Chicago by 17 points in quarter number 2. That's the end of the half with our score. Detroit 48, Chicago 33. Pat O'Brien is along with Prudential at the half after this message. Yeah, this is the one we got to run.
This is the proving ground. The people of General Motors are keeping the lights on, making transmissions, engines, and electrical systems you can count on. Perfecting Chevrolets, Pontiacs, Oldsmobiles, Buicks, Cadillacs, and GMC trucks. And with 77 models redesigned and engineered, GM is putting quality on the road.
For 2 years, breakfast has been nothing but healthy. Low cal, no salt.
Yuck! I've had it!
Daddy, no!
I want something delicious and naughty. Tired of things that are just good for me. Ha! Kellogg's Frosted Mini Wheats.
George.
Huh?
Frosted Mini Wheats are good for you.
No.
Shredded wheat goodness.
No.
And fiber.
No, not fiber.
Yes, George.
But they taste so good.
Kellogg's Frosted Mini Wheats. Surprise, they're good for you.
People keep asking me how it felt to be in the first Jamaican bobsled team. Well, let me tell you, man, it was cold, freezing. See, coming from Jamaica, the only thing I like cold is Miller Lite. Light's not some watered-down version of your regular beer. It's a less filling beer that really tastes great. And let me tell you, man, Jamaican bobsledders will be ready in 92. Keep training on. Going for the gold next time.
You gotta believe when it's Miller Lite, less filling tastes great.
The mayor's accused of murder.
How disgusting.
Will Jessica run against him to clear his name?
Sounds like good strategy.
Murder, she wrote. Then, live, the brightest stars are stepping out in style to entertain you on the biggest night of the year. Get ready for excitement as Kathleen Turner hosts the Tony Awards tonight. Fans, pick the starting teams. Vote for your favorites in the USA Today CBS All-Star Sweepstakes. Your chance at $25,000 and more. Ballots Tuesday and Wednesday in USA Today.
CBS Sports presents The Prudential at the Half, sponsored by the companies of the Prudential. Come to the Prudential and build your future on the rock.
And wouldn't the Detroit area like to have another championship? They're on their way. It's only halftime, but they're up by 15 over the Chicago Bulls. And hi again, everybody. I'm Pat O'Brien, and once again, welcome to another edition, a Game 7 edition of the Prudential at the Half. Let's go right to work, because in case you missed this last night, the biggest story in sports this weekend, the Mariners, behind the no-hit pitching of Randy Johnson, beat the Tigers 2-0. Now, I want to show you the final pitch of the game. 6'10", Randy Johnson, he could play basketball, tossed the first no-hitter in the history of the Mariners. He ended it by striking out Mike Heath, celebrating on the mound, and here's what he said afterwards.
I didn't talk to too many people on the bench, and I didn't even really try and think about it, you know. I just tried to take my mind off of it after the whole situation, and then when it happened, it happened. I'm just ecstatic right now. I'm probably blabbering right now.
Back to basketball, while Chicago and Detroit battle each other in this Game 7, tired, battered, and drained. Up in the Pacific Northwest, the Portland Trail Blazers are sitting back and waiting. They'll begin their war on Tuesday night. And joining us live now from Portland is the skipper of the Trail Blazers, Rick Adelman. And Rick, thanks for joining us. First of all, what about the rest? Is it good or bad for you guys?
Well, I think it's really good for us, Pat, because we had a hectic schedule for a month, and our guys needed a couple of days off, and we were able to do that for the last 2 days, and today we had a workout during the first half of that game, and now we're going home to watch the second half to see what's going to happen.
I was talking to Clyde Drexler the other night, and I said in the 9 years I've been covering basketball, nobody's ever answered this question. He didn't, so I'll ask you anyway. Who would you rather play, Chicago or Detroit?
Well, when you look at the two teams, there's really not much to choose from. You got the world champions who are very good at home, and then you got to play Michael Jordan, who can win a game by himself. Obviously, we'd rather have 4 games at home than 4 on the road, so I guess in that regard, you'd say Chicago, but the two teams are so similar, I don't think it matters to us. We're just glad to get through the Western Conference, and now we're getting ready for that.
Let me travel through the mists of time, by the way, and take you back to 1970. You were the captain of the very first Portland Trail Blazer team, and we're rolling up some video of there, a younger Rick Adelman. And what about that team? Did you ever have a dream that you'd be leading the team into the finals someday?
I didn't in 1970. I knew we weren't going to make it to the finals with that team, but I really did. This has really been a dream season. These players have worked so hard all year long, and we thought we had a chance to be good, but you got to give the players credit. They really worked hard to come together with 6 new players to get to the championship this year. It's really been a great feat for us.
Well, well-deserved entry into the finals, Rick. We all can't wait to get up there in Portland and see all the great fans there and see you. And we'll see you Tuesday night somewhere. I see you got the X's and O's and you're ready to go. Thanks, Rick, for joining us on At the Half.
Okay, Pat, thank you.
When we come back here, we'll turn to our financial section and take a look at one of this country's most famous conglomerates. That and more as At the Half rolls on a Sunday in the Midwest after a commercial. And a word from your local station. Stay with us.
Was all wrong. We belong together.
I know.
So let's get married.
Buy a big house.
Sure, we're gonna hit it big, kid. Stocks, bonds. We're on our way to Rainbow City.
In the movies, happy endings are easy, but in the real world, they take solid planning. So for investment advice, peace of mind, even buying or selling a home, come to the companies of the Prudential and build your future on the rock.
Will Corky's rise to fame go to her head?
Hands off, Frank!
Or will she fall from grace?
Come on, they're swaying.
Murphy Brown. Then those designing women testify on behalf of Bernice's sanity.
Yo!
Till the judge decides they're crazy.
Can you fix a traffic ticket?
Designing Women, Monday.
A young child is believed drowned in a frozen lake. Can he be saved? One of the most dramatic rescues ever is captured live Tuesday on Rescue 911.
This is CBS.
So, you got a new muffler today, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You go to the discount place like I did.
I decided quality was just as important as low price, so I went to CarX.
CarX?
They had the exact muffler I needed.
Well, yeah, but listen...
And a lifetime guarantee.
Yeah, but...
But how much did it cost?
Yeah.
See for yourself.
That's less than I paid.
Exactly.
Rattle, rattle, thunder, clatter, boom, boom, boom. Don't worry, call the CarX man.
We built this business
to help you relax and unwind.
Built this business
to bring water to your home.
We built this business to build your life.
ITT built these businesses into leaders. We built them by taking care of people.
Now we built this business. We built this business to build your dreams. Built this business.
The Corlick sisters on Denny's Grand Slam breakfast specials.
They just served me 2 Grand Slam breakfasts for the price of 1 special. You didn't get 2 breakfasts. There's 2 of everything on my plate. That's what a Grand Slam special comes with. Well, of course it comes with a plate. I mean, the special price includes 2 of everything. How come I didn't get 2 plates? Because you only ordered 1 breakfast. Well, why do you think I was so surprised to get 2? They usually don't make mistakes here at Lenny's. Denny's.
Try one of our Grand Slam breakfast specials for $2.99 only at Denny's.
Linda McLennan on the 10 o'clock news, weeknights on Channel 2.
They call it the Palace at Auburn Hills, and there's nothing more they'd like here than to make the Detroit Pistons the kings of the Eastern Conference. They have to get by Chicago today, and they lead at the half. Well, when we're finished with basketball here, we are offering golf in Potomac, Maryland. It's the final round of the Kemper Open, and for an update, here's Pat Summerall with a report.
We're at the TPC at Avenel in Potomac, Maryland, just north of Washington, D.C. Temperature 83 degrees, but the wind is the factor right now. South-southwest, 15 to 25 miles an hour. Yesterday's leaderboard, a lot of low rounds. Steve Jones, 11 under, 65 he shot yesterday. Joel Edwards tied the course record with a 64. Clark Burrows had 66. Here is how Steve Jones got to 11 under for birdie at 18. He also had a hole-in-one at 9. Steve Jones, the leader. The leaders have just teed off. And we send you now back to Pat O'Brien in Auburn Hills.
And that's golf after basketball. Well, as we speak, Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev is on his way to Minneapolis today as part of the summit to learn about American business. Well, Mr. President, I want to tell you here that nobody personifies the American capitalistic system better than a young man by the name of Mikhail Jordan. We have to tell you, this is one of those only in America things, as Bill Raftery explains.
The Material Girl is currently on tour with the hottest show in the country that will fill her coffers with millions. The Ninja Turtles have come out from under, and ticket buyers are shelling out the green. Meantime, all ages are enchanted by the country's most profitable air show.
Yo, Mars Blackman here, my main man, Michael Jordan.
You better eat your Wheaties.
If you wanted to create a star, a personality for the 90s that combined great skill, great performance, tremendous charisma, an all-American sensibility, good-looking, articulate, you'd create Michael Jordan.
I'm in a great opportunity to pick and choose the interests that I want to go into after basketball, and I'm very fortunate to be in a position that I'm in, and I'm just trying to utilize all the opportunities.
Michael endorses everything from cars, shoes, to hamburgers, and now has his designs on air suits.
Dressing for success is one part of the Jordan business plan, but when you feel and look this good, they pay attention to you when you walk into corporate America.
For Michael, there aren't any bears in this bull's market. Since Jordan's relationship with these companies, he has raised their level of play. This association is strictly blue chip.
This guy has a real good eye for picking upcoming companies, or he is the engine that attracts a lot more investor attention to these companies.
While a contributor in the Fortune 500 arena, Jordan's the CEO of his family-run business in North Carolina, where you can buy paraphernalia. But are expansion franchises available?
Yeah, the Flight 23 stores has caught on. It has become more evident here in the last, I'd say, last month, because we get calls from all over the world, people wanting to open them up.
Oh, I wanna be rich. Oh, I wanna be rich.
At $5 million a year, he is sixth in endorsement money, but #1 among team sport athletes. But what is his net worth?
I would hazard a guess that it's probably, approximately $40 or $50 million.
With this dollar figure, will a new skyscraper rise in Chicago, or will he use his fortune to take over a team?
I don't think I make that much money to go out and own a team, but seeing some of the frustrations that owners and GMs go through, I don't know if I'm ready for that. I'm more or less ready for the golf course once I retire.
Michael will really tell you that all of this is a means to an end, and an end in his mind is his Jump Foundation, which feeds a half a dozen charities. He told me his way of really reaching out and touching people. Time now to get back to the business at hand, the second half of Game 7. Vern and Lana are ready to strap themselves back in. I'm Pat O'Brien. Thank you for joining us on the Prudential at the Half. Enjoy the second half here on CBS.
The Prudential at the Half has been sponsored by the companies of the Prudential. Come to the Prudential and build your future on the rock.
To prove how long rain dance car wax lasts, just add water. Rain Dance, the longest lasting protection you can buy.
Bo may know diddly, but Mr. Robinson knows Beethoven.
We tested STP oil treatment under the worst possible conditions. In the taxi cabs in New York City. The result? Engine lift to wear was reduced by up to 50%. And now there's an STP for your newer car, too.
If you don't like the looks of your car, shoot it with Son of a Gun from STP. Shoot the dash, seats, tires, and roof. Son of a Gun protector. Man, what a difference.
If it makes you nervous to have someone my size in your face,
Now you know how your kid feels when you're in his. No one wins with child abuse.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Basketball Association Eastern Conference Finals is sponsored by First Brands Corporation, maker of STP oil treatment and son-of-a-gun protection. Nike, who remind you to just do it. And by Jeep and Eagle, official vehicles of the NBA.
Detroit Pistons hit 14 of 17 shots in the second quarter, 82%. They take a 15-point halftime lead. Right now, let's check in with Leslie Visser at the Chicago locker room.
Vern, Scottie Pippen spent some of the first half of the game with an ice bag on the back of his neck. The reason for this was that yesterday he was suffering from migraine headaches. Today, with all the excitement and the adrenaline early on in the game, it was causing his vision to blur. Now, trainer Mark Files said they're going to keep the ice bag on it. His vision got steadily better during the game, and they think he'll be okay. Vern?
And he will start, but he's been held to 2 points, 1 of 4 thus far in the ball game. Michael Jordan, 4 of 12. As hot as the Pistons were in quarter number 2, Chicago, their 33 first half points, lowest of any team in the playoffs this year. And they were fighting formidable odds playing on the road in this Game 7, coming in because the last 10 games that have gone to a Game 7 in the NBA playoffs have been won by the home team. But Jordan opens up the second half.
Well, certainly that's a good start, Vern. They have to start getting better execution offensively and eliminate the poor outside shooting.
Here's Michael Jordan after Isaiah Thomas misses with the jumper. It's Pippen, Hodges, that's the 3. And those that were falling the other night are bouncing off the front of the rim this afternoon.
Well, still, that's too quick a shot. They have to slow the pace and try to explore their inside game. That'll open it up for the outside shot.
Lambeer and Edwards. And here is James Edwards traveling. Michael Jordan averaging 32 points in this series. In the first half thus far, 12 points per game. But he's picked it up in the second half with 20. He had 18 in the third quarter of the game in Chicago, won by the Bulls on Friday night. They'll need those 18 plus if they're going to get back in this one. Horace Grant, no. Rebound, Lambeer.
Well, the intent was what I mentioned, that they have to start exploring inside, moving the ball, and try to see if their big people can get positions, but they have to connect with the shot.
There's the patented pick and spot up with Lambeer and Isaiah Thomas, and Jordan draws the foul.
Well, you see defensively, the Bulls are trying to get after it. Dumars gets the ball, and Jordan comes flying out after him. That's the intensity they require defensively if they're going to get back in it. It's much of the same what Detroit did in the second quarter. They shot 82%, 14 of 17 in the second quarter. Most of those layups off the turnovers and missed shots by Chicago.
Thomas to Rodman. And it's back to a 15-point margin. Jordan kicks it out to Hodges. Taken away by Isaiah Thomas.
And frankly, Vern, with Paxson out of the game, his absence really looms large. Hodges not able to hit the shot. That's his role. Paxson would have some better...
Basket underneath off the pass of Thomas.
He'd have some better luck, I believe, in handling the ball, freeing Michael Jordan up to use the whole floor rather than having to bring the ball up court and start the offense.
Just to complete that thought on home court advantage, the last team to win a Game 7 on the road, the 76ers in 1982. Here's Hodges, who is now 1 of 8. 1 of 8 from three-point range. He was 4 of 4 the other night. Well, he's a streak shooter, as Phil Jackson said, but he's in a bad streak right now. Isaiah Thomas. Timeout, Chicago. Chuck Daly likes what he's seen in the first part of the second half.
Recently, Four Wheel and Off-Road magazine tested the latest imports and domestics to determine this year's 4x4 of the year. The winner was then tested against past 4x4 of the year winners to determine the best of the best. They compared power, performance, and handling. And when it was over, Jeep Cherokee stood on familiar ground.
Get $1,000 cash back on Jeep Cherokee.
Hello. To show you why we believe our Bartles & James premium wine coolers are the best tasting coolers of all, we wanted to remind you just how much Ed knows about fruit.
Ed knows grapes.
Ed knows black cherries.
Ed knows pineapples.
Ed knows berries.
Broccoli? No.
Well, I think that proves Ed certainly knows his fruit. So please try our great tasting Bartles & James coolers, and thank you for your support.
Gillette announces a razor that can sense the individual needs of your face. Introducing the extraordinary Gillette Sensor Shaving System. Sensor blades are mounted on responsive springs to continuously sense and adjust to your face for the best shave a man can get. Closer, smoother, safer. New Gillette Sensor.
Monday, Scranton Microwave has developed this indispensable intercity ground transit tool.
Digital Bug Death Readout!
Dan Aykroyd comes to CBS on an all-new Dave Thomas show Monday.
Certainly it's been the precise execution of the Pistons that's gotten them this lead. Watch Isaiah Thomas set Craig Hodges up. Take him one way, go the other on the pick. Poor defensive intensity there by Craig Hodges, who once he was picked off, had to take the roll man on the switch.
And if the Pistons hang on to win this game, they will open the NBA playoffs at home against Portland at 9 o'clock Eastern time. If Chicago makes a marvelous comeback and wins the game, then the series would open in Portland on Tuesday night. The Trailblazers are ready. They have scheduled a departure in their private plane 2 hours after the conclusion of this game if Detroit wins. They'll begin here tonight around 1 o'clock Eastern time. The Trailblazers and the Pistons, two of the NBA teams that do fly chartered aircraft. Here's Michael Jordan from the baseline.
And when we talked about getting Michael Jordan at different parts of the floor to utilize his attack from those areas, you need someone who's going to be able to start the play. Craig Hodges' job is to do that.
Isaiah Thomas back to Lambeer. Right now, let's check in with Pat O'Brien. Pat?
Vernon, the last time out the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan had his own team meeting on the floor. The coaches had their own meeting, two separate meetings. Jordan saying, hey, we are not out of this thing yet. I've never seen him so animated in a huddle. Back to you guys.
All right, Pat, he may have memories of the Detroit comeback back in Chicago when they were down by 19 and cut it to 3 on Memorial Day weekend. Now, they wound up losing that game, but they got right back in it. Here's Isaiah Thomas.
And if they're going to get back in it, it's on the defensive side of the floor. But the Pistons have the feeling right now they've generated an outside game.
Shot too strong off the glass. Another Piston rebound. It's Hodges, Cartwright, Grant, Pippen, and Jordan for Chicago. Isaiah Thomas for 3. Pippen chases down the long rebound. Jordan goes by Dumars and Rodman. Dennis Rodman got him with a knee in the thigh.
Well, it's certainly the first time in many possessions down floor on the offensive end that the Chicago Bulls have gotten a hand on an offensive rebound. The Pistons have virtually eliminated the offensive rebounding opportunity. It's going to take that, plus it's going to take, again, execution offensively. Getting Jordan open, but having other people involved as well. Terrible pass by Horace Grant.
Horace Grant throws it right into the hands of Lambeer. And then does chase down the long rebound after Isaiah Thomas misses the three-pointer. Jordan goes by Dumars. Over Edwards, 2 more. Michael now 8 of 16. And he's got 18 points. But the lead is 20. It was a 23-6 run early in the second quarter to the end of the half that gave the Pistons this cushion. Isaiah Thomas. Buzzer went off, but the shot was released before the 24-second clock. Pippen is 1 of 5 from the field. 1 of 6. Grant is 2 of 11, 2 of 12. And the putback is good. The shots just will not fall for Chicago.
But they're not giving up. You see them again scraping the boards. That time, better floor balance. 2-3 guys on the offensive boards. They need that. Otherwise, the Pistons come off with the after the quick shot with the rebound, and they're off to the races again in transition. But when you send 3, 4, 5 guys to the board, you're leaving yourself wide open for a layup.
Horace Grant shoots 2. .6:23 to go third quarter, 61-43 now. Rodman finds Lambier, goes at Cartwright, and Bill Cartwright will draw the foul, and that'll send Bill Lambier to the line for a rare time.
Well, the Pistons did a great job of recognizing the full court pressure. They've had trouble with it in the past during this series, but now they're getting the ball within one pass to someone, a great ball handler in the middle, who can now get past that first wave of defenders and find those 3-on-1, 3-on-2 situations.
Lambier's 12th free throw in the 7th game. There's John Paxson, who re-injured his right ankle while coming down hard in the third quarter of game number 6, and talked with him last night and again today. Just not much chance he could really go. He said he had a little mobility today. Lambier, who's broken out of a slump. You saw that graphic on Bill Lambier's shooting percentage in Chicago, 26%. That includes the other night when he broke out of a slump because he had been 1 of 13. Jordan. Nice soft bounce.
Well, the Piston pressure did what it wanted to, throw the Bulls out of their rhythm.
Edwards misses at the other end.
But he gets the rebound, and that's what's killing the Bulls right now.
5:40 to go, third quarter. A 15-point Detroit lead at the half. Isaiah Thomas helped ignite that lead. And here's Michael Jordan with 20 points now. He's almost at the point where he's got to take it upon himself, doesn't he?
Well, he does, but what he is doing right now is recognizing when he's doubled and tripled, and he still has enough confidence in his teammates to hit them. Bill Cartwright with a nice job, like on the baseline.
In this period, Chicago 6 of 13. Chuck Daly senses a little bit of a trend he doesn't like. So he calls timeout with 5:12 to go. Detroit still up 63-47.